Hi, Tamsen. Thanks so much for joining me today. I appreciate it. So very briefly, tell us how your life and your business has shifted or changed since engaging with us 6 months ago.
Oh my gosh. You may remember this, but the very first time I spoke with you, I cried when I was on the phone with you. Because even though there was a lot that was going right with my business, I felt like I didn't have control over it. Like I just didn't know where the money was coming from. I didn't know where it was going. I just didn't know if I was making the right decisions or the best decisions. And on top of everything else, with being an entrepreneur and running my own business, this was, my finances were the one area that was the highest source of stress and the place where I felt like I had the least time in order to give to it. I think when I was going on the phone with you the first time, it was a mixture of like just absolute panic, but also relief in the fact that there was someone in the form of you that possibly could help. And I have to tell you, there's no way that 6 months ago I would have imagined the shift in how I feel about my business, about my finances. And that's, by the way, during a really, really stressful time in the world. And I put that just so much with the kind of the calm, wise, just really just grounded advice that I get from you every 2 weeks. And it's made such a difference. I mean, I feel like I know what's going on with the business. I feel like you've got my back. I feel like that there's a plan. The plan is working. And free prize, like it also helped my personal finances. So just everything's changed and it's been great.
So is there any one thing in particular that we do that you have found really is impactful on your business or your life?
Honestly, I'm a relentlessly pattern-driven person, as I like to say. So I really like knowing that every 2 weeks I'm going to have a conversation with you about like what's going on in the business, where the finances are. And that call does a lot of things kind of simultaneously. Yes, it makes sure that I'm paying attention to what's happening in my income statement and my balance sheet and all of that. But you're always so lovely and generous with saying, well, just what's going on in the business right now and how are you? And just being able to have that outlet of like, sometimes it's like, and sometimes it's just, hey, things are going really well. Those calls are just, they really have become a backbone of just the pattern and the rhythm of my business. And it's just been enormously helpful, just from an emotional support standpoint and a financial guidance standpoint. But just things change fast. And these last 6 months, not just with my business, but with the world, things have been changing really fast. And it's been great to know that, I know I don't have to wait until the call to ask you a question, but it's good to just say, well, you know what, I've got this question and I know I'm talking to Wendy next week, so I'm going to talk to Wendy about that.
Good. So is there anything else that you would like to share with others who might be considering working with me and my team?
Just stop questioning yourself and do it. Honestly, I get it. I get it deeply. Though I'm sometimes loath to admit it, I have an MBA. Like I know how to do finances. Like I actually know how to do this. But I also know that it's not where I get joy from my business. And it's also not where I can give most back to my clients. And I get that the trade-off can be scary sometimes. You think to yourself, I'm an entrepreneur, maybe you're a solopreneur, maybe you're a small business, and you're thinking to yourself, how does it really make sense for me to spend money in order to take control of the money? And I had that fear too. But honestly, it was much like many other things in the business that once you see the value of it, you start to do things to make sure that you protect your ability to do that, right? You figure it out. You figure out, how is it that I'm going to continue to do this? And by the way, you and your team help figure out how to make sure everything just feels controlled and making the right decisions. And so I'd say that it be comfortable with the fact that it's an uncomfortable decision to start with, but the value that you get for that will far exceed anything that you even think that you're going to get from it.
That's great. Great. Thank you so much for sharing, Tamsen.
Gosh.
I appreciate you and I appreciate working with you. And I hope you continue to have wonderful success in your business.
I just thank you so much, as you have made such a difference. So thank you. And anybody else still thinking about it, do it.
Thanks, Tamsen.